Well, we had a shit ton of rain last night, so the pond is like super full. If you look right here, it's this much fuller than it normally is. But I had the SRD packs charged for the last 5 days. I need to get them drawn down. So rather than sitting them on the discharge on the charger, I'm going to go ahead and run the Dominator, and then we're going to take a look at the data logs. I went ahead and put these trim dabs down just a little, raised the ones up on that side to try to level the hull out. And I'm going to be trying I believe this is an 1814 2-blade, and I also have an 1814 3-blade. They're both ABC props. They're probably going to be too big for bashing around the pond, but I just wanted to try them to see what the data log says that they actually pull. Because if I'm going to do any speed runs with them, I want to make sure that they're not, you know, anything higher than like 250 amps. Such a smooth running hull. I'm always so impressed with the Oxydine's handling on the water. We're going to progressively get faster. Ooh. Ooh. That was pretty aggressive. We're gonna progressively get faster and aggressively flip it. How's it look? Looks pretty good. Try to do a full speed hit here. He is crazy, y'all. Popping a wheelie. Ooh. Ooh. Another one bites the duster. Come on, baby. There we go. Self-righting, working like a charm. That prop is super aggressive. Probably slightly too aggressive. Okay. I think we got enough data on that prop. I'll make sure nothing's bent, because those were 2 crazy gnarly crashes. Everything looks good back here. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna swap and put on the 3-blade prop. That is still too much. So this is definitely gonna be too much. So who knows? We'll give it a shot. Gotta figure out what works so we can figure out what don't work. Okie dokie, 3-blade prop engaged. Let's see. Okay, it says we've only done 40 miles per hour, which we all know that's kind of BS. Okay. I really want to do a motor swap on this, because I think that big Poseidon motor is just adding unnecessary weight. I think a higher KV motor would actually help, and I could run smaller props, spin them faster, and be less weight than that big 4092 motor. I've yet to run that motor on 8S. It does say it's an 8S capable motor. A very smooth sounding prop. Curious what the data log's gonna read on these. Wow, she's flying, y'all. That may be a good high-speed prop there. Ooh, she's coming up out the water. Woo! Boy, oh boy. Alright. I've been giving it hell. That was like literally nothing above about 60% throttle. Now, I'm curious what the data log is going to show, but I was really trying not to get too aggressive with the throttle, because it really is hauling ass. All right, let's go ahead and bring it in. That was enough. Okay. Okay. All right, let's see. Ooh, yeah. Got some heat out of that one that time. Hey, finally we're getting some heat out of that thing. All the other ones haven't given me any heat. Batteries are nice. Okay. Cool. 120. That's the hottest that thing's ever been. Hottest that it's ever been. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to pull some data and then we'll take a look at it. Okay, so let's take a look here at the data log. We're going to go ahead, we're going to zoom out a little bit. We're going to go down here. We're just going to focus on battery current for right now. Now this is the beginning of the first run when I threw the boat in the water at 11 minutes and 38 seconds. And we see there, now this is the 1814 two-blade. About 1 minute into the run, only pulling about 125 amps. Now if we move over, now these were some full throttle hits during the first run, and if you look towards, let's go this way, right there where the indicator shows, that is when I had the first initial crash, when the boat crashed. And we're pulling about 200 amps with that prop, which is going to be probably the limitations of the Hydra X8S. Now, we know that ESC is capable of more than that, but probably not for a extended period of time. Unfortunately, my pond doesn't allow me to hold the throttle wide open, but we probably wouldn't want to do that anyways. But that just shows you peak during full throttle hits, which is kind of cool. Now, if we come down here and we turn on power, we can see we're running about 6 horsepower during that period of time, which is impressive. That Poseidon motor really truly is impressive. Now, if we're going to go ahead, that is power. Now, one thing I wanted to show, it's kind of crazy. it'll show you the temperature of the ESC. Now this is internal temperature of the ESC, and it kind of dips down. Now let's go ahead and zoom out to where we can get a better understanding. Now check this out. So let's zoom out a little bit further. This is really neat. So you can see over here towards the left hand of the screen, those little upward whoosh marks. Now this is the full run. This is about 15 total minutes worth of data. So you get a 5-minute lapse. You've got about a 2.5-minute run time. Then you have another 3 minutes for the prop change right in the middle of the screen. And then you have your 3-blade prop, which is an 18-14 3-blade. Now these are very large blade area ratios. I can't really remember off the top of my head what they were, but I believe they were like 60. But I may be incorrect. But they were the bigger props, because OSC just doesn't have any in stock. So that was the one that I could find that seemed to be in the realm of possibilities. But running it with this motor at a higher RPM, you can tell that it actually got that ESC up to about 118 degrees, which is pretty cool. Now, let's go ahead and go down here and look at, let's see, battery current. It's going to go back to the amperage again. And we're going to zoom in. We're going to move over. So that's our first run. We're going to go over here to our second run. So this is our second run right there. Okay. So this is the second run. Me just cruising around. This is about the first 1.5 minutes of the 3-blade prop, I believe. Now let's do this. Let's go ahead and zoom in even further. We're going to go over. Okay. Now, let's see here. Doing this. There we go. Okay, so this is the second run. This is the 3-blade prop. And we see here, we got a total amp draw of around 255, 256 amps. That is crazy. Now, the 3-blade prop and the 2-blade prop are both the same prop. They are a 18-14. So they're a 1.8 by 1.4 pitch. One's just a 3-blade, one's just a 2-blade. I wanted to do this test, and now they're both the same bar ratio and all that, the same blade area ratio, everything about it. But one's just got 3 blades. So this right here shows you that when you throw a 3-blade on versus a 2-blade, you're pulling another 50 amps on top of that. So what is that? Another 20% more amps on top of what a 2-blade runs. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, I love the data log feature of the Castle products, because it really shows you what it is that you know your electronics are experiencing. Now, battery ripple, if we look here, not bad. You know, it just, what is that? 2 volts. So 2 into 20. Is that? I don't even think. No. Let's see what it says. Max 2.4 volts. So it dropped down 2.4 volts under a full throttle hit. So that's what, 10% voltage drop, and that's not terrible. I think that's probably the limitations of what you want it to be. Maybe with a big 3-blade prop, it could use an additional capacitor bank. But yeah. So it says right here, maximum amperage 253.9. Maximum horsepower indicated 6.717 horsepower. Maximum temperature is 118, and the cutoff is at 224, which is kind of crazy that ESC can handle a whole lot of heat and it's not getting hot. Maximum RPM 32,000 RPM, so it's right in the range. I just think that motor is probably overkill, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and change it out. So yeah, cool. That was cool data. Now, since we went over the data, I ran this beside the motor. I originally got it thinking that it would do really, really well, and maybe it's just my setup. Maybe I don't have the right prop selection. I don't know. But I have two TP motors. Now, I originally bought this TP motor, which is a SVM, and it's still a 4-pole motor. It is the 2130 kV. Now, I was going to put this in the boat originally for high-speed runs to try to get to nearly 80 miles an hour. Now, what I've learned is it's a whole lot harder with a monohull, especially one of this size, to reach that kind of speed and it be somewhat controllable. I think I need to wait for the absolute perfect conditions in order for it to do so. Now, that being said, the SVM motor, somebody had commented on it saying that they like to burn up ESCs. Somebody burned up the bigger Hydra. Something about can't tell which way the rotor wants to spin and the ESC gets cooked. So it kind of made me nervous to run that motor. Now, they did say that you could swap the rotor out for a regular style rotor and not the SVM rotor. The motor is supposed to be capable of like 72,000 RPM or something like that. Now, this is a smaller, we'll call that the big block, we'll call that the small block. Now, this is the same size can as the Poseidon motor. This is a 3686. This is a 4092. This is a 2060 kV, 2130 kV. Now, because I have the smaller Hydra X8S in there, I'm thinking I might put this in there. This is going to be a lot less weight than the big Poseidon motor, and in theory I think it will pull less amps. So let me know in the comment section below what you think. What are your opinions of the SVM TP motors, and what's your experience on something like this? But I have two of these. I want to test these to see what kind of amperage they pull, because my plan is to build a twin engine cat, and I have two of these. So basically I wanted to put it in the boat to where I can read data on it, to where I'll know what the maximum amp draw is, to where I can figure out and determine what ESC I want to use, if I need to buy two of these Hydras and run it in a twin cat setup, or if I can run two Dynamite 160s or Firma 160s or the Oxydines, because I know if I could run two of these in a twin cat, because I believe that's just a Dynamite 160 or a Firma 160, honestly, and they just label this a 200. But I don't know what direction I want to head until I know what kind of amperage that small block TP motor pulls. They say on the website it pulls 225 max amps, and it's also a 29 volt max motor, so it would be a 6 volt, a 6S or a 7S motor. It may handle 8S, which this motor is supposed to be 8S motor. I've only ever ran it on 6. Kind of afraid to run it on 8. I don't know if the SC can handle that. I don't know if the boat can handle that, but just let me know in the comments below. What do you think I should do? Should we try to run this boat on 8S one time with the Poseidon motor in it? Or should we just go ahead and swap it out for the small block TP motor and drop some weight and see what we can get out of it? So, thank y'all for watching. Make sure y'all hit that like button and press that subscribe on the way out. Peace out, Bogan.